Forza Horizon 6, Japan is filled with a bunch of real-life locations, just like this car meet. The road we just saw, people were drifting on, even off-road areas like that, and I've put together almost all the ones I could find, comparing the real-life locations to the Forza Horizon 6 map. This is an in-depth look at what real locations we will likely see in Forza Horizon 6. And as we go through these real-life locations and compare them, it's prudent for me to tell you to head down there and subscribe for the crew, Forza, and any other big racing game new info content. But first, I begin not with a map, but a car. This is the only thing that I'm really gonna do car-wise. The rest of it is all map stuff. But this Miata, someone brought it up, and I found it quite interesting that it is based on a real MX-5 Miata. The Forza Edition V10 twin-turbo supercharged MX-5 is based on this car at SEMA. There's two turbos, again, as the headlights, just like in the Forza Edition. It's wide-bodied on the back only? I didn't even notice that. Hang on a minute. This MX-5 is wide-bodied on the back only. Okay, I didn't notice. Well, I've seen it now. Now I can't unsee it either. But the MX-5 is wide-bodied on the back, different rims, different stuff. But the engine sticking out and the turbos is very clearly based on this MX-5 that was at SEMA recently. But they've done a unique thing here. It's vaguely based on it, but still very much its own car. And that's just the first of these real to in-game to real comparisons we have to make. Next on the list, I put the most obvious one, but it's the one I put this next because we have some stuff to say about this. Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji in Forza Horizon 6. I am almost entirely confident right now to say you will not be able to traverse, climb, drive up Mount Fuji. I am almost 90% sure Mount Fuji will only be a background location, one where you can't drive into, just like going off the map upwards or downwards in Forza Horizon 5. You will not be able to get to Mount Fuji. I mean, here's some looks at Mount Fuji, obviously comparing it. It is almost, it's exact. I mean, how do you mess it up, right? It's perfect there in the background. But I think because it looks so accurate, I think that's what really solidifies that we won't be able to drive up it, because it is a giant mountain. It is a big, big mountain that some people rightfully pointed out you can't traverse with a car anyway in real life. You couldn't in any way drive up Mount Fuji. And I feel like Forza Horizon, given they have all this, like, you know, focus on the culture of whichever location they're doing, I do feel like not wanting to desecrate Mount Fuji, because I imagine Mount Fuji has cultural meaning, and tossing a bunch of cars onto it, probably not what was intended for Mount Fuji. So, it being one of the most accurate locations in the entire map also means that it probably isn't going to be on the map. But they did a brilliant job with Mount Fuji. And then, if you've played No Hesi, you'll recognize the Shuto Express. This is the specific image I picked just because it looks the most like what I'm trying to convey. This sort of highway that's really tight with the buildings and the overlapping up the top, all of that stuff. That's what the Shuto Expressway feels like. That's what we see with not only this shot of the Shuto Express, but we also later see a shot of it driving with the Valhalla and the Valkyrie with a bullet train right next to it. Now, I don't think it's the same expressway, but I think it's connected for sure, because we see those same cars taking this exact same type of on-ramp that you see on the Shuto Express. I think this thing is going to be so cool. I think this is probably also where we'll get our big, long highway road, because Forza always gives us one of those. So I imagine we'll get a big, long highway road from this expressway. We'll probably have a speed trap on there, whatever it may be. Now, there is an issue here, but I'm gonna more talk about that issue later, because it makes sense to talk about it later. But there is a big issue with the expressway, I will say. And the best way to bring it up is by pushing forward this. We're gonna talk about this next, even though it was gonna be later. But yes, the spiral highway. Iconic in Japan. It's right next to these little rice fields. This is just, it's gorgeous. I mean, if there isn't, I see a speed trap, which is all well and good. I mean, honestly, I'm actually kind of upset that there's a speed trap there, or a speed zone, because I'd rather a drift zone. I would rather a drift zone that goes all the way down, and the meta is to be drifting the whole way. But I imagine people will still be able to do that. This is based on the, and forgive my pronunciation, the Kawazu Nanadaru Loop Bridge. I know I pronounced that in the most wrong way possible, the most Western way possible. But this is an iconic highway in Japan. I mean, I believe we even see it in Cars 2. That's where I remember it from. But this spiral highway, I did see on Twitter some people bring up one of the big issues that we're seeing, which isn't an issue of just Forza. It's not an issue of just Forza Horizon 5 even. 6, sorry. But the roads are just too wide. I mean, look at how much space these cars have. My gosh! They've got, like, you could fit almost 4 of whatever this car is on that road. Plus, the little extra area on the side, the hard shoulder. Whereas in real life, you can see that it's a much tighter road. A much more unforgiving road if you're going mega ultra super fast. And people have taken issue with that. But it's, and the same thing happens with the expressway. It just, the roads aren't as tight as they should be. And people have taken issue with it because, well, it just doesn't feel right? You don't get, it's not as intense, and it's sort of, it's an issue that we have to deal with because some people can't drive or would struggle with tighter roads, so we get wider roads for everyone to be able to drive. I mean, Motorfest has this. I think the only game that probably doesn't is, I guess, Test Drive? And maybe I just don't know enough about the game, and it really does do that, and people have complained about it, and I just don't know. But what do you think? What do you think about the issue of the smaller, tighter roads? Because these are still their iconic locations, undeniably, but they are different because of that sort of thing that we have to deal with. Next, we have the ice walls. Now, I'm pretty terrible. I didn't put this one by name, but this is the Tateyama Kurobi something. So, okay, gosh, I'm terrible. But yes, these are a real place. Some people assume that this might have been Mount Fuji, but it isn't. It's a separate area with the big ice roads. And I mentioned that in this clip, you can actually see the top of the ice roads, and you can see that there is an off-road trail. So you will be racing on top of the ice roads as well. And I do see this as very, very likely a permanent location. I mean, you can see that the ice walls do get way, way lower. They get way lower. So we might see the ice walls get lower, but I don't think the ice walls ever go away. I can't find any image of it. I mean, apparently it does get hot and it does get a lot lower. But no, I do think this will be a permanent fixture and not just a snow season related time thing. But obviously this place is often filled with many tourists. I mean, just this image, you can see a bus going one way and then people walking past the other way. You see the big, it's cool enough. It's cool enough, and I'm glad they added it. But it is not Fuji related. And next, we have this iconic car meet location. The Daikoku, I think, is the pronunciation, is an absolutely iconic car meet location in Japan. If you're a car guy going to Japan, it is a must-visit location. It has some of the coolest meets. I mean, we can see just on Google Images. We got RWB cars parked up. We got, like, just the sickest tuned cars. I thought that was an A110 for a second. It wasn't. But this is, of course, based on that. And I gotta admit, I did expect this one to be added. Mostly because if they're doing Tokyo, I mean, it's right there. It's right there. It's within Tokyo. It would have been unavoidable. I was 100% sure we would get Daikoku because of how just right there it is with Tokyo. Such a sick location, and I cannot wait, especially as they've talked about a brand new car meet feature, which will let you actually do a car meet in the open world, buy other people's cars, all of that kind of thing. Very much looking forward to it. Speaking of Tokyo though, I did just put in suburban Tokyo, because as much as the main city, I mean, we saw clips of the main city and I could just Google Tokyo and show you Tokyo. But this image specifically, we see a lot of what suburban Tokyo looks like, as the outskirts of Tokyo, I imagine, because that's what this is. That's what this is going to be. When they talk about the 5 boroughs that Tokyo is going to have in this game, I mean, there's even a clip earlier of a very tight Tokyo suburban area. After this, and we see the same type of thing with the tight roads. There it is. Now, originally, I thought, also, finally, some tight roads. Originally, I thought that there's a chance that this was, like, a different city, maybe Kyoto, but no, this seems to be Tokyo as well, because they said Tokyo is, like, 10 times bigger than the biggest map they've ever done, or was it 4 times? I think it was 4 times, and there's gonna be 5 different boroughs. So, each borough, on average, will end up being, just smaller than Edinburgh, which I think is the other biggest city they've done. But suburban Tokyo will be very nice, because obviously the city is good, right? But I don't think the city is going to be as fun to, race around or long-term hold up. The main city is nice and all, but I do think these areas are what are really going to make the map, is these just gorgeous, tight, suburban areas, racing through them. That's what I'm looking forward to. Then we have the Japanese rice field huts. We see a few shots of stuff like this. Obviously, we're going to get rice fields. There's the big wheat fields over the mountains that we see looking at Fuji very early in the showcase. But I just like the look of this hut, and you can see exactly the kind of thing this hut is based on. So we'll probably come across a lot of these, especially through some off-road races. And there you go. Perfect. There's the rice field, and there you can see the hut at the end. This is the rice field, and then we can see the hut at the end. Gorgeous design, and I'm glad they're adding little things here and there. This will probably be on the wider off-road area of the map, of course. Do we get to see? I wonder if we do get Kyoto. I don't think so, though. But then there's this road. Oh, iconic roads. This road right here. We see the Porsche Drive. You can see on the map in the bottom left the kind of road that's coming up, and you see it go round the hairpin. This is the Irohazaka winding road. Just beautiful. Look at this picture of the road, and then let me show you the earliest shot that we have of this road. There it is. Look at, it's just perfect. It's just perfect. So yes, this big winding road with now I don't know if it has sakura trees. There's a chance I got the wrong road here, but I don't believe so. But obviously the pink trees are very unique looking, so I think who knows? Regardless, Japan has these big winding roads that are just beautiful, and this is one of them, and I cannot wait to, look, if there was gonna be a drift zone anywhere, if there wasn't gonna be a drift zone on the big loopity-loop spiral road, there's gonna be a drift zone here. 1,000%. And I cannot wait. In fact, actually, that's actually a shame, because that means there's going to be flags all the way through this, ruining this pretty road. You know what? I hope they do something about that. I hope drift zones don't have flags anymore. But that's neither here. Maybe just a start and the end. I just thought of that. I'm like, damn, that would really ruin the look of this road. Especially if you're someone who doesn't really care about the drift zone and just wants to drive on this road. But there's also probably going to be races going through this road, and I really look forward to it. The Irozaka winding road. Then we have the bamboo forest, the Arashiyama bamboo forest, which we see here from underneath, and the Civic driving on. Now this one, we see a real off-road trail, which is kind of like what this has. It's the same fence there as well. And the big thing about this is I'm fairly certain it's pretty close to Kyoto. So maybe we could get Kyoto, but this bamboo forest is absolutely beautiful. It doesn't look like we'll be able to go into the bamboo, like in The Crew or whatever else it may be. but there will be a bamboo forest that you'll be able to drive through. The races through it are going to be gorgeous, and especially at nighttime when it is hopefully lit, just like the bamboo forest is, with just the little lights across the bottom. That's what I'm looking forward to. And one of the last things I have on my list that I prepared is just the Japanese docks, which we see the Hurricane Storato drive through. And the thing about this is, just like the Daikoku, I do think this is in Tokyo. This is going to be in Tokyo. There you can see the docks of Tokyo. I imagine this will be connected. I mean, just in the background there, you can see some of the big, tall Tokyo buildings. So, of course, by the water. But I'm looking forward to it. Oh my god, this city is going to be beautiful, man. When we get that first top-down map look of Forza Horizon 5, it is going to feed families. That is going to... Oh my word. But there we go. That is real-life comparisons of almost every location I could find. Is there any place that you found that I couldn't? And which of these areas are you looking forward to driving through first? Thank you so much for watching. That's going to be about it from me in a bit.